Hey Glam Fam, it's TJ, the creator of Glam Goddess AI, and I wanted to share with you my gang sheets that I created using my luxury art. Yes, this is a DIY. Now, let me share with you. I was very intimidated at first to do this because I didn't know the exact sizes that I wanted to put on the gang sheet. But now I know, and I've also created a gang sheet freebie just for you. I'll have it linked down in the comments. So I am using Canva. I do use the paid version, but I believe you can use the free version for this as well. The only difference is you still need to make sure that you remove the background on your images so that when it is pressed on a t-shirt or tote or whatever have you, that extra film won't show like a box around it. Okay. Again, some of these are different sizes because I was making them for different purposes. I really do love the pre-made gang sheets that you can purchase. I purchased quite a few myself, but what I did realize is that I did not use a lot of the images, so I pretty much wasted my money. However, that's what made me make the decision to start making my own gang sheets for t-shirts that I want to wear, or I do a lot of craft fairs here in the Midwest. We have craft fairs all the time, so I'm always participating in a craft fair or any pop-ups, and these are wonderful, wonderful um, ideas that you can have on hand when you're if you also participate in craft fairs or pop-ups or whatever have you. So let me get to it. One of the issues I had, like I said, was I didn't know the sizes to make. So you'll see that I had a lot of extra space between my images where I could have plugged in some smaller images so that I could have made more use of my gang sheet. But you'll see that I did learn that as I was going. Another issue that I ran into was this one. I really like the image. However, when I removed the background, it didn't look right. So it looks kind of boxy. I really don't prefer that particular style. However, I'm just going to press it on a canvas and I think it'll look just fine. But I wouldn't wear this on one of my t-shirts because of the big box around her. All right. I really did. And I'm going to make this just a little larger so you all can see. I really do like the grunge effect with this one, so that turned out great. So most of these are sized at 10 inches, between 9.5 and 10 because I wear a medium. I didn't want the images to overpower my t-shirt, but I still wanted them to make a bold statement. Okay, and then down here, I just made my tagline and a couple of sleeve caps. That's what I call them, that you can press on your t-shirts, especially if they're short sleeve shirts. These look so cute on the sleeve of your t-shirt. So that's what these are for. However, I noticed that I still had some space down here, not going all the way to the edge, but I still could have put a couple of more images down there. So let me show you my process. So I started again with 22 by 60. That's my base, okay? And then I grabbed my images. I know that I'll just start with my popping ones. And where'd she go? I know it's that. There we go. I know that with these, you don't want to go all the way to the edge because that's not good. When they print it out, there's like a line or a, why can't I get this up here? It's slowly going. I guess it is pretty large. There we go. You don't want to go all the way to the edge because when it comes from the printing company, there is a black line along the seam of the gang sheet. So you want to go in just a little bit. I pretty much use my guide on the Canva. You see that line that's telling me this is a good sweet spot. So for a 10 inch, let's see if this is 10 inches. Nope, not quite. For 10 inches, and I'm going to make this a little smaller. Okay. And I'm just dragging it just about there. That's good for a good bold graphic t-shirt for me in a medium size. And again, I did create a freebie for you all to grab that has all the different sizes, from 2 by 2 all the way up to 11.5, I believe. To me, that is the maximum I would print an image out because it just my heat presses It just wouldn't look right for me. But I mean, you probably could experiment with something larger, but that's usually a sweet spot for me. So again, I'll put one here. You don't need to mirror when you are creating gang sheets. Leave them just like that. The only thing you want to make sure you do is remove the background. So then I'll add her, and let's see, I will grab this one, and she's down here. This one I would put on one of my totes because it's a little smaller. I could also make this a 2 by 2. That would look really good as a chest on the chest pocket of a t-shirt. That's perfect. It looks really small, but honestly, it's not when it's printed out on the gang sheet, and I'll show you that as well. All right. And that's how I do my fill-ins. And then again, I'll grab a couple of more. This one had words on it. So then I'll put her here. That's a good space. But again, let me go ahead and make sure she's about, I'm going to do this one about 8 because I want to put this on a tote. What I do want to show you, do you see all this dead space up there? You don't want that. So you want to drag this as close as possible when you are sizing it, as close as possible. Now, if you notice, it's not the 8.8, it's 7.4 by 7.5. So now I'm going to drag it to make sure I'm at 8.8 for this particular image. And it may not do exactly 8.8, but let's see. That's good. That's good for me. Yep, that's good for me. And then I would then place it here if I were doing that one. Now, I may actually put it here so I'll know not to try to fill in that space there. Okay, but she's still kind of close. But anyway, that's it. It's like, to me, it was like just putting a puzzle piece together, finding the ones that fit, finding the ones that did not fit. All right. So then here is one, and I'll just zoom out just a little, zoom in a little bit so you can see this is a completed gang sheet that I did. This one you can see there was some space here, but I really didn't want to do too much because she is actually a little longer to go on the front of my t-shirt. Okay, these I did make a little smaller because I had in mind to make them to put on totes. Now, I did get a little close over here. I was a little worried, but once I printed it out, it was fine. Okay, and that's what works for me. And you'll notice that, okay, then I said, well, let me add a couple of 4x4s. Maybe if I want to press those on a small canva or a small tote. I love doing velvet straw bag or velvet straw bags, velvet drawstring bags, and those will be popping on a velvet drawstring bag at a pop-up shop or a craft fair. I also created my UTV sticker sheet as well, just to see how well the UTV was going to stick to my materials. These I left space because I actually created those for my Libby glasses, and I'm going to use those for Mother's Day, or you can use them for birthdays as well. But that's why they're the length and the height that they are for stickers. But I noticed down here, I still could, not there, right here, I still probably could have added another one, but again, I was a little worried because I didn't know when I printed it out how much space I would have. So these were just fill-in images. I think I did them at 4x4. I'm sure I did, just to see if I want to put them on the front of a journal or a coffee mug, just something small. And here she is. This is the one that is actually printed out. And let me tell you, these colors are popping. And I laid this one on my dining room table so you can see exactly how long it is for the 22x60, which is a good length, especially for what I wanted to do. And you can see I was able to get quite a few large images on here. Now, if you're doing a lot of small images, this too would work for you. If I were doing that, I would go with a theme. I would choose some type of theme because, you know, it would be kind of difficult trying to really figure out how you want to fit the items on. But if you're going with a theme, let's say you're doing a whole birthday one, then you know you can add the balloons and you can add your graphic, your images and whatever have you. All right. So that is the end of my video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have already made yours and how were you able to problem solve the sizing and any other tips you want to share with me. I will be glad to hear them. Thank you for watching my video. Also, I hope you were able to walk away with something. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, don't forget to grab your freebie in the description. Thank you and have a glam day.